was a big win yesterday for the Port Huron Prowlers as they get set to take on the Motor City Rockers, this time at home. Will Wiggleman here with you alongside Joe Noonan tonight, my special guest color analyst for tonight's game, as the Prowlers defeated the Motor City Rockers last night by a final score of 6-3 at Big Boy Arena to continue their stranglehold on second place in the Continental Division and leave the Rockers down in fourth place. Joe, what did you think about that game last night?
Well, we play these guys quite a bit, obviously more than any team in the league, and last night was a pretty low-key game as far as they've gone, and I think when we just stuck to our own game, we showed that we were the better team, and we stuck to our game plan and didn't get involved in any of the extracurricular stuff. No fights last night, stayed out of the penalty box for the most part, and we came away with a win.
It was a very clean game as far as penalties are concerned, but we'll see if the intensity ramps up tonight. There was a little bit of extracurricular activity near the end of that game after Liam Freeborn hit the empty net. We'll see if any of that rolls over, and we'll have more coverage for you on the rest of the pregame show coming up in just moments. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Will Wiggleman and Joe Noonan back here in Port Huron as the Prowlers and the Rockers are just about 10 minutes away from puck drop here at McMorran Place. But before we get into tonight's game, let's take a look back at last night's action. We already mentioned it very quickly at the top of the show, but the Prowlers picked up a 6-3 win over the Rockers last night in Fraser. It was Larry Vartianen getting the scoring started early, just a minute in, but then Declan Conway and Jonathan Giuliano scored just about 3 minutes apart. That gave Motor City a 2-1 lead at that point. Austin Federley got two back before the end of the period, and that gave the Prowlers the lead heading into the first intermission. It was a wild first period, Noons, with plenty of goals, and both teams seemed to come out of the gate with a lot of energy.
They sure did, and give props to Fetz for stepping up for the team, coming away with 2 goals right in a row to finish out the period.
Well, the second period was one that Noons would like a lot better as a goaltender. No goals in the middle frame, and really the only thing to put down on the score sheet was a penalty to Dan Chartrand, which the Prowlers did kill off. So we headed to the third period, still a 3-2 Prowlers lead, and another early goal from Larry Vartianen going bar down on Blake Scott. That extended the lead for the Prowlers.
Yeah, that was Larry's second one of the night. The first one was the backhand, which is a nice goal, and then Larry gets it done again in the third period to extend the lead for us, give us a little bit of breathing room there in the third. Even though Motor City comes back with one right after that, we're still comfortable to finish out the game.
Yeah, so Everett Thompson got one in a 6-on-5 situation, but then Dante Suffredini took a costly tripping penalty. Seconds after that, Sam Merritt made him pay with a power play goal. And as I mentioned earlier, Liam Freeborn hitting the empty net. Let's take a look at the player spotlight from last night's game. We check out Austin Federley and Larry Vartianen. 2 goals last night each. However, neither able to complete the hat trick. We're still waiting on our first hat trick for the Prowlers this season.
Yeah, surprising that nobody's gotten one yet. We've got some guys, obviously, that can put the puck in the net between Dalton J., Matt Graham, Larry, Liam Freeborn. I got to think pretty soon somebody's going to get 3 in one night here.
Maybe tonight is the night. Let's take a look at the current Continental Division standings. Well, the Columbus River Dragons got blown out last night by the Carolina Thunderbirds, so Carolina's still hanging around in points-wise, and they have a decent lead on the Prowlers in the win percentage category. That's a team that Prowlers do have to be aware of as far as the standings go, but if they continue to take care of their business against the Rockers tonight and then the next 2 games next week, could really put them in the rearview mirror.
It's true, and playing a team 16 times in one season, we only play 50-something games in the year. This rivalry that we have with them on I-94 is really a make or break for us in the standings, because there are so many points at stake out of the number of games that we do have. It accounts for almost a third of our games.
And of course, the Mississippi Seawolves, in case you missed it, on upset alert last night, taking down the Danbury Hat-Tricks in a shootout down in Biloxi. Those 2 teams will go back at it again tonight in Mississippi. So the 4 teams that are currently in playoff positioning in the Continental Division are matching up tonight. The Thunderbirds and the River Dragons again, and of course the Prowlers and the Rockers facing each other once again. Let's take a quick look at our lineup for tonight. It's the same lines, except Ryan McLean is no longer with the team, so no 10th forward tonight, and unfortunately for the Prowlers, down Adam Hainsel after he suffered a leg injury in last night's game. Just how important is a guy like Adam Hainsel on the defensive side of things?
Adam's been a big part of the group this year so far. He's a high-energy guy. He's hard to play against. He's tough on guys in front of the net and in the corner, and he's got some speed to transition onto the offensive side, so losing him will be tough, but I know from talking to the defensemen, not just on this team, but in general in pro hockey, guys don't mind rolling 5 on D. It gives them a little bit quicker rest times in between shifts, so they'll be just fine. We've got our guys in good shape. They're ready to go.
And certainly not something the Prowlers are strangers to this season, and even the past few weeks, consistently playing with a short lineup with plenty of guys out, but they're much closer to a full lineup than they have been in some recent games. They did dress a full lineup last night, and that was the first time in the calendar year of 2023 that the Prowlers were able to do that. In goal tonight, we see the return of Chris Paulin back in Port Huron. He spent a few years with the Prowlers prior to the COVID pandemic, and now he's back via trade earlier last week. So it should be a good game tonight between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. Teams are just a few minutes from exiting the locker rooms and stepping onto the ice. A bit of an earlier start tonight here at McMorran Place, as we are very excited for tonight's action. Again, we're expecting another good game. Prowlers looking to tie up the Battle of I-94 tonight at 5 games apiece. They won the first couple of games, and then Motor City came back with a few wins in a row, 5 in a row in fact, but then the Prowlers have won the last 2, so if you're keeping track at home, the I-94 rivalry is sitting at 5-4 in favor of Motor City. Prowlers will look to knot that up tonight as we just wait for the lineups to step out onto the ice. We'll tell you about the starters as well. We have that Freeborn, Graham, and Jay line that's been together, most consistent line really over the past few weeks, with Joe Devaney and Evan Foley in and out of the lineup, and of course Sam Merritt has had his revolving doors on both wings on that line, so it's good to see at least one line is able to stick together. We mentioned the 5 defensemen rotation, Alex Johnson and Dustin Henning getting the start, but I mean, you know, it's been super tough for the Prowlers, just with so many guys coming in and out of the lineup constantly. I mean, what has that been like, you know, for the guys?
It's true. We've had some guys in and out. Lately, we've had quite a few guys out, mostly to injury. But we've got a good core group of players. We've got some true veterans in the league between Grammer and Henner, and Daltz has been in the league for quite a while. You talk about having Freeborn, Graham, and Jay playing together for several weeks in a row now, and really that's great, but at the same time, Dalton and Graham have played together for 5 or 6 years at this point, so when it's 1 or 2 pieces that kind of get moved around the lineup, that's nothing that the guys in that room can't handle. and we've got a lot of good personalities on the team to make sure that things keep going along smoothly.
Well, we'll take you down to ice level for the rest of the pregame ceremonies as they announce the starting lineups. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
The hunt begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Prowlers fans, are you ready? Let's meet tonight's starting lineup, presented by Orthopedic Associates. At forward, number 18, Leon Freeborn. At forward, number 51, Matt Graham. At forward, number 92, Dalton Jay. On defense, number 25, Alex Johnson. Also on defense, number 84, Dustin Henning. And let's welcome back to Port Huron, in goal, number 39, Chris Paulin. And let's welcome the ice, the rest of your Port Huron Prowlers. The head coach and general manager of your Port Huron Prowlers is Matt Graham. Assistant coach and assistant general manager Alex Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, and gentlemen, may we suggest removing your caps as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem. Sponsored by Duraclean by Mike Bachelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a special welcome to the legendary voice of the Prowlers, Sarah Dent.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Sarah Dent, the famous voice of the Port Huron Prowlers, once again on the national anthem. So we're just about set for puck drop from McMorran Place, but first let's take a look at the starting goaltenders for tonight's game. You heard Chris Paulin back with the Port Huron Prowlers. He gets the start tonight, 2-0 with a 2.5 goals against average and a .909 save percentage so far this year. Both of those games coming with the Binghamton Black Bears. Blake Scott is back in net for the Rockers after giving up 5 goals on 39 shots to the Prowlers last night. He has a .346 goals against average and an .899 save percentage. What do you think about these two goaltenders?
Well, I have only known Scotty for a single practice last year, but I remember seeing him steal a game for the Rockers here at McMorran Arena in the first or the second game of the season this year. He was very impressive in that game. And Paulie, I've gotten to know over the last couple days since he got here. Played against him a couple times last season. He's a very good goalie, proven in this league, and he's had a lot of success. I believe he was the goalie of the year a couple seasons ago. Athletic guy, a little bit smaller like me, but he's quick. He's a very good goalie.
FPHL second team All-Star last year with Carolina was Chris Paulin, as the Rockers look for their first opportunity of the game, as Tommy Cardinal pokes it in, and Motor City heads off for its first change. Alex Johnson coming off a 2-assist night last night. Goes off the boards and in. Sam Merritt chasing after it. Dante Suffredini works it around. Coming up the ice, wearing number 6, I believe that's Connor Inger, as that one slid in front. And Conway just couldn't put it home. That one flipped high, knocked down by Conway. McGill Diaz trying to work it out. He gets it to Scott Koash. Koash into the zone. Snapped a 5-game point drought last night with an assist. Here's Conway, puts it in front, and a good first save from Chris Paulin as the net comes off its moorings. That one on Connor Inger, who is wearing number 6 tonight. He was signed on Tuesday out of New England College, where he played 4 years of NCAA Division III hockey. 84 points in 87 games. Also has a game played with the Quad City Storm in the SPHL this season. Josh Colton couldn't find it in his skates. Dan Chartrand able to poke it back to Rocker Ice. We're a minute and a half gone in the opening period. Gaudette taken off his stick. Chartrand goes off the boards and out. Now McGill Diaz. That one neatly picked off by Foley. Schumacher with his head up finds Vartiainen. Larry Vartiainen had 2 goals last night. Rockers move the other way. It's deflected in by Everett Thompson. Here's the captain, Dustin Henning. Taken off his stick by Giuliano, put it in front. Pauling got a stick on it. It got caught up in Sam Williams' equipment. And he's able to move it to center. Sam Gagnon 1-on-2 as he enters the Rockers zone. He'll just get it deep. Foley after it below the goal line. Instead, it comes out to Motor City. Tommy Cardinal's able to get it to center. 17:35 to go, first period. Neither team with really too many opportunities at the net. Officially, no shots on goal yet, as the Rockers look to start a breakout. Perks works back to his defense. Now he gets it back. Tim Perks steps around Graham, enters the Prowlers zone, but Liam Freeborn is right there to smack it off his stick. Now Freeborn couldn't kick it up to his stick, comes right back to Perks. Perks feeds it all the way over towards Conway. And now Henning blocks it at center. Right back to Dante Suffredini. We're still searching for our first shot on goal over 3 minutes into the opening period. Here's Graham. Over to Gino Mini. Flips it high and out. Suffredini settles in his own end and turns it back, but he missed his intended target with the pass. Merritt hustles back, and it will be an icing against the Motor City Rockers. Well, Nunes, you don't get a shot on goal for the first 3.5 minutes of this game. As a goaltender, is it a bit tough to get into it when you're not seeing rubber?
It can be. It's true. Sometimes the easier games are the ones where you face more rubber than the games where your guys are playing really well in front of you defensively. Every once in a while, it's good to just feel it on the pads and in the glove.
We now have our first shot. It was a quick one on net off that face-off. Prowlers looking for some more. Suffredini works it towards Inger. Mini shot blocked at the line. Gino able to poke it back to Alex Johnson. And he gives it right away to Conway. Inger tried to put it on. It flipped over top of the net. Now on the near side boards. Conway trying to turn away from pressure. Koash works it down low to Inger. Up top, White. His one-time shot missed wide. Poked out, here's Chartrand working one-on-one with White. Chartrand drops it off to Merritt. He couldn't get a shot off. Good back check from Inger. Now Williams. Sam Williams with some speed with his team changing. He backhands it in, gets it himself. Williams taken into the wall. Ryder able to poke it back to Josh Colton. And the Rockers look to move the other way. Here's Suffredini. His pass up towards Elias Thompson was cut off by Williams, who dumped it right back in. Vartiainen left it for Schumacher. It's chopped deep. Suffredini around towards Vartiainen. Now Larry in the corner works up to the point. Schumacher's shot. He didn't get all of it. Thompson trying to get it out. Henning and Foley in there for the Prowlers. Suffredini takes the puck, works it over to Colton. Good turnover there from Vartiainen on the forecheck. Gagnon gave it right away to Elias Thompson, and he lifts it out to center. 5.5 minutes gone, opening period, just one shot between these two teams, and no score yet. Jay couldn't corral the bouncing puck as it came through the slot. Miguel Diaz steps out. Looks for a breakout pass. He finds one. Comes all the way to Paulin down low. Gave it away behind the net. Alex Johnson blocked that pass attempt out in front. Now Freeborn, 3-on-2 with the Prowlers. Hurry. Gives it over to Graham. Graham down low and a kick save from Scott. Minnie just kept it in at the line. He winds and fires it high. That puck was on edge when he shot it. It's Giuliano. All the way across. Minnie able to collect in his own end. Up for Dalton J. Conway takes it back at center. He enters the Prowlers zone. Declan Conway to the backhand and a save by Paulin, hugging that right post. Rotundi winds and fires. Blocked on the way through. Prowlers look to go the other way. It's Johnson with speed. 2-on-2 rush. Johnson takes the shot off of a stick and out of play, and we'll take our first time out. 13:18 to go in the opening period. Prowlers and Rockers knotted up at 0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
$13:18 to go, opening period, just 2 shots on goal so far officially, and they both belong to the Prowlers. Been a bit of a slow start here, I guess, offensively.
Well, I'm not surprised considering how the game went yesterday. There weren't a ton of fireworks. There was a little bit of shenanigans towards the end of the game, but compared to some of the other games we've played against these guys, it was a pretty tame style of play. So
Fairly shot deflects around.
There really hasn't been, this weekend at least, much unfinished business, so to speak, to take care of starting off the game tonight.
Federley with a good chance off that face-off. That's a face-off play we've seen the Prowlers run a few times last night. And they got a couple of good shot opportunities off of it. We'll see if they can continue to run it That was a good chance there from Austin Federley that looked like got deflected on the way through and really challenged Blake Scott.
Real good chance there, Will. One of the keys on our face-off plays is that most of them start out looking pretty similar, so even though we only run a few, it's hard for the defensive team to figure out which one it might be till it's too late.
Federley tried to center. Comes back out to the neutral zone. Gino Mini dumps it back in. 12:20 to go, opening period. Will Wiggleman and Joe Noonan here with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. As Ryder couldn't dance into the zone. Rockers able to get it back though. Gagnon pokes it off of Thompson's stick. Foley dumps it in, delayed offsides. Prowlers touch up. And Ian White steps out from behind his own cage. Suffredini up towards Elias Thompson. He is a step, working on heading. There's Thompson to the backhand, and Paulin makes the save, and he'll cover up. And now, Chris Paulin can officially get his first save of the game out of the way with 11:45 to go in the first period. It's a bit of a sharp angle shot there. Might be a little bit of an easier chance for Paulin, right?
It's true, and you see him get outside the post there, so a straight drop butterfly won't push him away from the angle any more than it has to. From that angle, you're just blocking the puck.
Schumacher cut that attempt to the net off. Hertz kicked it towards Cardinal at center. Rockers had a little bit of trouble with that puck, but Dalton Jay had to touch back up. Here he is with the puck. Outside shot kicked away by Scott. And now Graham tried to feed it out high. Nobody home for the Prowlers. Schumacher all the way back in his own end. Rockers trying to sneak in a change. They got part of the way through, and now Scott Koash steps out to complete the forward line for Motor City. Looks like Liam Freeborn is going to be picking up a holding penalty as he was riding Dante Suffredini to the near side boards. So the Rockers are going to get the first opportunity on the power play in tonight's game. Second ranked power play in the FPHL at 22.6%, while the Prowlers penalty kill is tied for fifth with Elmira at 80%. Comes to the point to White. Koash feeds it all the way across Suffredini, winds and fires, and he scores. A power play goal for Dante Suffredini gives the Rockers the lead just 7 seconds into that power play. 10:48 to go in the opening period.
Dante really got a hold of that one. As a left-handed defenseman on the power play, if you're able to step into it a little bit from the top of the circle, get the goalie moving from his left all the way across to his right, and beat him back across the grain, that's a tough save. And Dante, obviously having played here last year, I'm sure he never gets sick of scoring against us.
It's his fourth goal of the season. It does snap a 7-game point drought for Suffredini. As Merritt's back in looking for a response, his shot was deflected high. Elias Thompson knocked down by Everett Thompson. Paulin sweeps it over to the far side. Ryder trying to come out in front. Johnson cleared the puck away. And now Chartrand lifts it in right on Scott. In and out of his glove. He leaves it off for Nick McGill-Diaz. Elias Thompson sent it right in. Everett Thompson looking across. Only found Dan Chartrand, who softly sends it ahead. Gagnon first on it, but his shot towards the net just missed wide. Schumacher collects at center. Puts it in right on Scott, and he'll scoop it up and hang on with 9:49 to go in the opening period. Dante Suffredini has the goal for the Rockers. They have a 1-0 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
.9:49 to go, opening period here from McMorran Place. Prowlers trailing the Motor City Rockers by a score of 1-0, but they're up on shots, 5-2 so far tonight.
I think we've really carried the play here more than Motor City has, but Motor City gets a good chance right at the start of the power play to take the lead. But we've had the sustained pressure in their end quite a bit more than they have in ours for sure.
It's an offensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers. Schumacher's shot kicked away by Scott. Now Jonathan Giuliano lifts it on for Tommy Cardinal. Rimmed around towards Perks. Sent back deep by Rotundi. Now Cardinal. Tried to feed it out in front. Perks gets it back to Clausen at the point. He puts it deep. Pressure on for Motor City. Prowlers trying to get it out. Rotundi. That chopped out. And it was knocked down by a hand and touched first by Tommy Cardinal. So that's a hand pass coming against the Motor City Rockers with 9:12 to go in this first period. So the faceoff will come outside the Prowlers zone. Graham line out for Port Huron against the Coash line. Clausen feeds it up. Mini blocked Inger's first attempt to get it in the zone. Connor Inger on the second try, able to get it deep. Williams up to Graham, and now Freeborn into the zone. Stops up, takes a hit. Williams is right there to get the puck. He turned it over to Coash, trying to send Conway on his way. Declan Conway around. Freeborn first on the puck. He's taken into the wall by Vaughn Clouston. Now Clouston behind the net. Mini on him. Clouston put it out in front. Puck was there. Williams able to get it out of danger, and the Prowlers almost had a rush going. Puck was just bouncing every which way, so couldn't control it all too well. Here's Jay back in. Elton Jay. The sharp angle try on. Rebound came out, and Scott kicked it away as Suffredini and Freeborn went tumbling into the post there. That puck just came right back on net, and Blake Scott had to be quick with his reactions to get a pad on it.
You see we're having some success in the offensive zone right now in the first period. Shooting at the far pad there on Blake. What that does for a goalie is it's very difficult to control that rebound without having it spit right back out into the slot. We've gotten some good chances off of that.
It resulted in a good opportunity for the Prowlers, at least a juicy rebound, as the Prowlers were crashing the crease. As Ryder and Merritt get set for this draw. Comes out to center, where Schumacher puts it right back in. Suffredini off the glass, only as far as Federley. Now here's Elias Thompson with a chance to get it out. Everett Thompson dumps it in right on Paulin, and he'll hang on for a whistle with 7:56 to go in this first period. So an offensive zone face-off coming now for the Motor City Rockers. Here's Alex Johnson off the draw. Schumacher looking up towards Chartrand. Icing waved off as Suffredini comes back for it. Took a hit from Federley. Suffredini still with the puck. He lifted it right out, and that's going to be a delay of game penalty on Dante Suffredini. He cleared the plexiglass on top of the boards and the glass around the concourse here at McMorran Place. I think I went right down the stairs. But either way, it's a Prowler power play now coming up. The Prowlers ranked third in the FPHL at 21.4% on the man advantage, while the Motor City Rockers 79.3% on the kill, and that is ninth in the FPHL. Here's Graham. He's into Freeborn. Now Johnson up high. Jay with a quick shot. That hit something in front. Graham couldn't chop it back on. Now Merritt whacking away, and Colton finds it and clears it all the way down. Johnson up to Merritt. Over to Freeborn into the zone. Merritt put it out in front. Koash the only one there. So it's cleared right back down. 40 seconds gone on the penalty. 7 minutes now to go in the first period. Alex Johnson into the zone. Gets it deep below the goal line. Gets it himself. Miguel Diaz couldn't get it out with too much force, so Freeborn able to stop it at the point. Prowler set up again. Johnson on the wall. Feeds it down low to Graham, looking for Merritt. They just couldn't connect as Sam Merritt was sneaking down the slot. So the Prowlers will change up the penalty kill, their power play, and the Rockers will also change the PK. 6.5 minutes to go in the period. 45 seconds left on the man advantage. Foley has Federley streaking, tried to get it there. Instead, Rotundi took it away. And it's rimmed around towards Vartiainen, off the backboards. Mini sits there in the corner. Now he puts it up. 23 seconds left on the power play for the Prowlers. Vartiainen up high, Federley wrists it on. Don't think that got all the way through to Scott. So there was traffic in front. Prowlers have it again. Final 10 seconds ticking off the man advantage. Vartiainen in front towards Mini. Couldn't get the one-timer off. The net behind Scott is off its moorings. Looks like he'll fix it himself as we're back to 5-on-5. Here's Vartiainen quickly up ice. Smacked right back out by Clouston. Now Evan Foley. Couldn't send Jay into the zone. Giuliano back out. 5:20 to go in this period. Perks chasing it down, negates the icing. Giuliano put it on from a sharp angle. Paulin makes the save and gathers it in to cover up with 5:09 to go in the first period. Bit of a tough power play there for the Prowlers. They got a couple of good shots at the beginning, but then not too much after that.
Yeah, there was a good chance there by Dalton Jay right off the draw. It looked to me like a bit of a set play to get a guy with a really good wrist shot, a chance at the net. And then obviously having Gino Mini, a defenseman, used in front of the net. He's there, he's a huge body, and the defenseman in front of the net on the power play I think is an underutilized strategy considering how familiar they are with clearing pucks away in their own zone in front of the net. You saw Blake Scott struggle to see the puck there a few times.
Giuliano out in front and a good save by Paulin on Tim Perks. Freeborn and White chasing after it in the near side corner. Comes down to Cardinal, and now Freeborn. Rimmed around behind the net. Williams couldn't dig it out of the Zamboni door there. The White wrists it on, blocked in front. Cardinal back to White, couldn't kick it up to his stick, and now a save on Inger at the side of the net by Paulin as that puck was bouncing around. Nobody was sure who was going to be able to take that shot. And it looks like the Prowlers are going right back to the power play as Dalton Jay was tripped up. When we come back from this break, we will keep you right here, however. We can take a look at a couple of Oakland University alums, Gino Mini and Ryan Rotundi, a couple of tough guys in the FPHL, but both spent time at ACHA Division I Oakland University. They did overlap for a year as well at 2016-17 season, but both of them racked up the penalty minutes at Oakland University, and that's something they have also done here in the pros.
It's always funny to me to see guys that are not afraid to drop the gloves, having played a successful college career, considering that you will get suspended in the NCAA or ACHA if that happens.
Yeah, they don't like the fighting. In club hockey in the ACHA, you do have to wear those full cages or the fishbowl when you're playing college hockey. There's a Prowler wearing the fishbowl tonight. It's Liam Freeborn after he took that high stick from MJ Merkel back in Binghamton last weekend. He's out there with the fishbowl. And the Prowlers are getting out there for the power play. They send out the unit with Gino Mini, who we just talked about and who you mentioned. We were talking about utilizing him in front of the net.
It's true. You can see as they try to set up the power play here, if Gino gets it in the corner, he's mostly going to look to get it up to a guy like Larry or Fetz or Shuey. And then just
with a shot that hit Mini.
Get in front of the net. That's the downside of having a big guy in front, right? Might end up blocking a few that you hope get through.
So Rockers are able to clear that one down the ice. 20 seconds into the man advantage for the Prowlers. Here's Federley dropping it off towards Vartiainen. Oh, that was almost dangerous as Everett Thompson was swooping in looking to intercept that puck. Foley towards the point and Schumacher couldn't keep it in. It goes all the way back down, but dangerous drop pass there.
Yeah, that's a high risk, high reward kind of break-in play that we run here with the second unit. It's always dangerous to do a drop pass to the last guy for the line to come up through.
Here's Federley at the point. Over to Schumacher, back to Federley. Wrists it on, save made by Scott through traffic. Foley rimmed it around. Koash and Mini chase after it. Gino Mini didn't get enough on that, looking for Vartiainen. So the Rockers clear and the Prowlers will switch up the power play unit. 46 seconds left on the man advantage. Now 3:04 to go in the first period. As here's Schumacher leaving it for Graham. Back Graham all the way across looking for Merritt, too far ahead of him, but it's chopped into the Rockers bench. Nice catch there from emergency backup goaltender Braddock Otten. Made that one look casual.
Yep, always got to have your head on a swivel on the bench as a backup goalie.
You're relied upon to make sure nobody gets hit with those pucks sometimes. As it comes to the point, here's Freeborn. Leaving it for Merritt. Puts it on from a sharp angle. Scott down to make the save. Works back up high to Freeborn again. Thompson blocked the pass, couldn't find it. And now Everett Thompson able to poke it down. Final 10 seconds ticking off the Prowlers power play as it's sent up quickly to Jay. Graham took a hit from Clouston, and it's wristed all the way back down. So the Prowlers power play falls to 0-2. So we're back to 5-on-5 with 2:15 to go in the first period. Here's Johnson. Turned it over. Inger has Koash going to the net. Now Inger again. Out front to Conway. And Paulin able to get that one. Clouston walks and fires. Missed it wide. And the net is just slightly off its moorings.
You see Clouston miss to the blocker side there. That's the side that the net got pushed away from. Didn't miss by much.
Just the way that net came off, the net was just a little bit more square to Von Clouston from that angle. So it probably looked a little bit better to him than it normally would from that angle. A tick under 2 minutes to go in the first period as the Merritt line and the Koash line are out there. Paulin just making sure that those posts are in tight. Actually, the Prowlers still have that power play unit. Looks like they weren't allowed to change due to the net coming off. Offsides is the call at the Rockers line. So now Port Huron will be able to get a full line on the ice. Minute 48 to go in the opening period. Shots on goal right now 11-7 in favor of the Prowlers, but Blake Scott has been perfect so far, making all 11 saves he has had to. Deflected in. Henning chasing after it. Around towards Gagnon. Hopped over his stick. Shot on goal, stopped by Paulin. He pokes the rebound to the corner that came off the backboards. There's Gagnon trying to work up ice with speed. Dumps it in. Foley and White after it. Ian White wins that battle. Was able to work it back to center. Missed everyone, however. So it comes all the way down for a Rockers icing with 1:13 to go in the period.
Good chance to get some fresh legs on the ice here. The first minute, the last minute of every period are real inflection points as far as the game goes.
Yeah, the final minute of periods, especially the first or second, has been a bit of a struggle at times for the Prowlers, giving up late goals that take the wind out of their sails. It's happened about a handful of times already this season as they get a turnover in the offensive end. Merritt couldn't get it on net. Looks like it's stuck there under Scott's blocker, and he'll hold on for a whistle with 61 seconds to go in the period. And now Motor City is able to change and get some fresh troops on. It's like the Perks line out there now for Motor City. Cardinal steps in to take the face-off away for Motor City, but Schumacher's able to put it back in. 52 seconds left to go in the period. Federley in on the forecheck. Cardinal over to Perks, 3-on-2 for the Rockers. Here's Perks shooting it, and he missed it just wide with help from Schumacher, who got a piece of that shot with his stick. Merritt quickly to Federley, looking for Chartrand. Rocker stepped in front of him, now 31 seconds to go in the opening period. Here's Josh Colton. Stick handles, looks for an option and gives it to McGill Diaz. Now up to Perks. Almost cut off by Jay, but Tim Perks able to step by. Took a hit from Minnie, went down in the corner, now Minnie with it. Sidestepped a hit from Elias Thompson. Final 10 seconds ticking off. Johnson tried the stretch pass to Jay. That was blocked away. And that will do it for the opening period here from McMorran Place, with the Port Huron Prowlers trailing the Motor City Rockers by a score of 1-0 after the first period. What do you think of that period?
Well, I think, like we said, both teams are feeling each other out a little bit to start off. I think we carried the play for the most part, but Motor City was able to make the most of their opportunity on the power play. Right now, that's the difference. Blake Scott's made some good saves in front of some traffic. He's done well with that.
11 saves for Blake Scott in that opening frame. 7 for Chris Paulin on 8 Motor City shots. And that's where we stand as we get set for the first intermission here at McMorran Place, with the score 1-0 in favor of the Motor City Rockers. New year, get your new gear. Get your updated look at the Port Huron Prowlers team store located on the west end of McMorran Arena. The store is open every home game all season long, featuring t-shirts, sweatshirts, including glitter crew necks, koozies, socks, and more. Rep your team in style with gear from the Prowlers team store. First intermission underway from McMorran Place. It's a 1-0 Rockers lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel. Will Wiggleman back here at McMorran Place in the first intermission. They're playing musical chairs here at center ice as the Prowlers trail the Motor City Rockers by a score of 1-0. Well, wasn't too much going on in that opening period, especially compared to yesterday's first period, in which we saw 5 goals between these two teams. The only tally, Dante Suffredini's power play goal at 9:12 of that first period. And that was the only goal so far. Blake Scott made all 11 saves he had to against the Prowlers, while Chris Paulin stopped 7 of 8 shots that came his way. Not only did Suffredini score on the power play, he also took 2 penalties of his own. But Motor City able to kill off both of those. Prowlers power play now 0 for 2 tonight. So it was an interesting period. We didn't see a shot for the first 5 or so minutes of that frame. The first shot officially came in at 3:37 of that opening period. We didn't get the second one until 6:04, so really one shot in the first 6+ minutes of that period as both teams started a little bit slow, but things really did pick up from there. And once again, the shots on goal through one period of play, 11 for the Prowlers and 8 for the Motor City Rockers. Well, it was a good month of December for the Port Huron Prowlers. They made their way up to second place in the Continental Division, where they continue to sit. Let's take a look back at the top plays of the month from December. Bounce past Rogers looking for the rebound. Now Freeborn has Dalton J all by himself. He scores! Here come the Teddy Bears. Dalton J on the breakaway, and the Prowlers are on the board. A pretty terrible Delaware Thunder squad. Chartrand off the turnover, takes a shot, he scores! Dan Chartrand does it himself, no doubt that one's his goal. Prowlers have a 2-0 lead. Vartiainen steps around upright into the zone, kicks it back up to his stick, but couldn't completely get the handle. Now Vartiainen has it back, quick shot, he scores! Larry Vartiainen with 34.2 to go. Prowlers up by 1. Any kind of traffic typically. Devaney with a good steal, he scores! Second of the period for Joe Devaney, a steal and score. Prowlers up by 2. Freeborn took it away from Bush Anderson. Here's Liam Freeborn cutting to the net. Save, rebound, score! Liam Freeborn gets his own rebound and puts the first one past Blake Wyrick. Prowlers have opened up a 4-goal advantage. Picks up the boards, then cycles down to Ryder all the way across. What a save by Rodrigue! Typically a guy who's one of the last to score in the shootouts in practice. Can he do it in a game? Sam Merritt slows down, score! Prowlers win it in the shootout. Sam Merritt, the game winner, and Port Huron takes the 3-game sweep down south. Austin Federley backhands it into the zone. Here's Suffredini taken away by Graham in front. Freeborn, what a move, he scores! The Zamboni door monster claims a victim as Yevdokimov has to recollect his stick as that puck squirted down low. What a save by Hofflin! Puck still loose there, and it doesn't go! The Prowlers keep it out! Rockers trying to work it out on the near side boards. Devaney behind the net. Tried the Michigan! Oh my goodness! Joe Devaney just pulled off the backhanded Michigan in the FPHL's Michigan rivalry. Well, there was no question what was going to be the #1 play of the month of December, although Joe Devaney did wait until the final day of the month to pull off that amazing move, a true goal of the year candidate for Joe Devaney, but lots of great memories in the month of December. Prowlers looking to make some more here in January, but they will have to come back from a deficit here tonight as they trail the Motor City Rockers 1-0 through 20 minutes of play. We'll be back with the second period in just about 7 minutes from now. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Will Wiggleman and Joe Noonan back here at McMorran Place, where the Prowlers trail the Motor City Rockers 1-0 as we get set for the second period of action. Before we get into that, let's take a look around the FPHL. Every other team in the league is playing tonight. However, just one game is going on already, and once again, it's the Carolina Thunderbirds jumping out to a lead against the Columbus River Dragons. 2-0 Thunderbirds after one period of play. We have two games getting set to drop the puck in just a minute here. Elmira and Delaware down in Harrington, Delaware, and then Watertown and Binghamton. That one is in Binghamton. Those games, again, getting started in just a minute. And then Danbury and Mississippi an hour from now will battle again in Biloxi. But here it is a 1-0 Rockers lead. Joe, what do the Prowlers have to do to get back into this game and tie the score? Oh, Blake Scott was perfect in that first period. 11 saves on 11 shots for the Motor City goaltender. As we get set for the start of the second period, it will be the Graham line against the Tim Perks line. As we get set at center ice here at McMorran Place. Chris Paulin over in the crease to our left. Blake Scott in the crease to our right. And the puck is down right in front of us at center. We're underway for the middle period. Here's Jay. Picks it up off the jump. Hopped over his stick as he tried to get a shot off. Rockers come the other way. 3-on-2. It's Cardinal. The sharp angle try hit Paulin up high in the mask. And Freeborn gets the rebound. White just gets it out. Johnson smacks it right back into Rockers territory. Here's Suffredini. Over to White. Now it's worked up this side, Giuliano. His shot off a stick and over top of the net. Jay, up to Freeborn. His long range shot was blocked aside by Blake Scott. Graham chasing after that puck. Jay able to keep it in. Rims all the way around to the far side as the Prowlers make a change just over a minute into this second period. Here's Austin Federley. Took a shot. That was stopped by Scott with the stick. So he was able to get down and block it. Connor Inger up the left wing side. His shot was blocked up just a bit by Gino Mini. And Paulin is able to cover up. 18:39 to go in the second period. Still a 1-0 game for the Motor City Rockers. At least we have shots here early on in this second period, unlike the first. As Miguel Diaz takes one, kick save by Paulin. As he picked it up at the last moment through traffic. Federley over to Sharktran. Just couldn't handle the hot pass. Put it back on from a sharp angle, and Scott able to glove it and hang on. Shots on goal now. 3-2 in favor of Motor City in this second period. Just a minute and 36 seconds in. So Merritt and Koash set to take the draw to Scott's right. Federley picks it up. Tried to turn it on. Said it's as good as a dump. Sharktran behind the net. Looking for Merritt. Koash disrupted that pass just a bit. And now Merritt gives it away to Inger. Up to Conway. Into the zone. Off sides, though, as Declan Conway slowed up just before he hit the blue line. And Inger had a full head of steam heading into the zone. You never want to dangle at the blue line like that if you're Declan Conway.
One offsides.
There's Sam Williams. Turning up ice. Gets the red line, gets it deep, only as far as Miguel Diaz, however. He hopped up to glove it down. Prowlers able to keep it alive. Comes out to Vartiainen, takes the shot. That one cut the wrong netting, as it looked like it hit something on the way through and flies out of play. 17:42 to go in the second period. Prowlers with an offensive zone faceoff coming up. It will be Foley and Ryder to take it. Vartiainen steps down the wall to grab the puck. It comes to Elias Thompson. He feeds Everett Thompson. Rips it off the boards. Elias Thompson right on it. Now Everett Thompson with a shot. Puck there in the slot after Paulin made a good save. Johnson the other way. Alex Johnson had his wrister eaten up by a stick. It flies out of play. So the Prowlers will have another offensive zone draw. Now 17:20 to go in the second period. Things getting a little bit choppier with the whistles.
Not often you see the puck go up and over the twine behind the net, hit the wall, and bounce back onto the ice.
No souvenir that time for a fan standing up there on the catwalk.
That's okay. That's where the Federalists stand, and I'm sure they've got plenty of pucks at home.
Giuliano tried to split the defense. There's Jay. Nice move into the zone. Jay almost able to get a shot up, but it rolled off his stick. Now mini shot stopped by Scott. I don't think Graham was able to get a piece of that one. Here's Jay. Head up, looking all the way across. But the Rockers had that one shut down. The puck flies into the netting, out of play. Now 16:52 to go in the second period. Puck's out of play all over early on in this middle frame. There's Graham and Koash. That's set for the faceoff. Jay pulls it out of the pile. Turnaround shot off the backboards. Graham tried to come out in front. Scott almost caught Scott looking the wrong direction. Johnson at the point, wrists it on, kick save by Scott. Minnie comes in to keep the puck alive, but only momentarily as Koash gets as far as Minnie at the point, so Prowlers do keep the pressure on. Now Motor City able to get out, 3-on-2 the other way. Conway drops to Koash, he scores! A quick one-time blast from Scott Koash on the rush, and the Rockers take a 2-0 lead.
It's a quick transition there for Motor City. Again, they haven't possessed the puck a whole lot in the Prowler zone, but they've been able to strike while the iron's hot as they're coming into the zone.
And for Koash, that is his team-leading 15th goal of the season. Makes it a 2-0 game in favor of the Motor City Rockers. Schumacher up to Chartrand as the Prowlers looking for an answer. Suffredini. Chartrand in there on the forecheck to disrupt. Suffredini ends up sending it to the far side. Federley gets there ahead of White. Now Ryder took a hit from his number 21 opposite Dan Chartrand. He has the puck now. Schumacher at the point. Wrists it on. Whistled past everything. Henning able to get it deep. Now Schumacher. Couple of Rockers in there. Sent towards the goal. Now comes out to Henning. Federley to Dustin Henning at the top. Wrists it on. That hit some bodies at the side of the cage. Prowlers with some good pressure, just not able to turn it into some shots on goal on this shift, as that one almost popped out in front. Merritt was looking for it. Now Elias Thompson. Chartrand in there digging for it. Ryder able to get it out. Everett Thompson gets the red line. Soft dump that Sam Williams will chase after. just past 5 minutes into the second period as it's deflected into Rocker territory. Perks gave it away to Foley behind the net. Here's Gagnon. High shot, knocked down by Scott, and he'll hold on for a whistle. 14:44 to go, second period. Prowlers now trail by 2. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated,
Enterprising.
the most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Still 2-0 Rockers, 14:44 to go in the second period. And Nunes, you mentioned it before the start of this frame. Prowlers with a lot of outside shots, low danger chances in that first period. Seems to be a similar story here early in the second. What's Motor City doing to keep the Prowlers to the outside?
Well, it looks to me like Motor City's collapsing pretty significantly in their defensive zone, which really clogs up the middle of the ice. You call it the house. If you draw a line from the goal line, even with the dot, out to the dot, up to the center of the slot, and then back down the other side, you get a pentagonal shape, looks like the house. If you're able to protect that area and prevent the offensive team from getting too many scoring opportunities in there, for the most
They
part.
score! Evan Foley bats that puck in, and the Prowlers are on the board with 14:39 to go in the second.
Great hand-eye there from Foley.
Well, that certainly was a high danger chance from Evan Foley, and it stems from a puck on net from Sam Williams from the point that didn't get all the way through, but Evan Foley able to find it.
Sometimes for a goalie, even if that shot doesn't get all the way through, we call it a broken play. Doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. You're already reacting to something that's changed on the way in. It can be difficult to recover quickly enough. It was a good job by Foley to get his stick on the puck in midair.
Goals in 3 of the last 4 games for Foley, including 2 power play goals in Binghamton, 1 in each of those 2 games. Here's Perks, moving it around towards Giuliano. Sends it off the far boards. Cardinal chasing after it. Williams lifted his stick, and then Paulin comes out to cover it. Perks gave Paulin a bit of a shower there, and the Prowlers taking exception to that. And announcing Foley's goal, his 12th of the season from Sam Williams and Sam Gagnon. But Perks in there giving Paulin a snow shower as he was charging the net. Nothing more comes of that, except the defensive zone face-off for the Prowlers. Quick shot on net from Inger. And quick reactions from Paulin to get that one. And he gets a blocker save on Conway's drive from the point. Koash a shot from the boards. Also steered away by Paulin. Couple of good chances there for the Rockers. Some sharp saves from Paulin in that sequence.
You always have to be ready right after a goal. We talked in the first period about the last minute of the period, first minute of the period as being important shifts to take care of. First shift after a goal that your team scores is big too, especially as a goalie. You got to be on your toes, always ready for a little bit of a letdown emotionally by your own guys.
Graham and Koash set for the face-off. Koash able to win it back, but Graham keeps it away from Conway, who was set up looking for the shot at the top of the circle. Rotundi put it on. Koash couldn't get a tip on it, so Paulin able to easily steer it over to the boards. Hopped over Jay's stick at center. Conway back in. Declan Conway to the middle. That one deflected just wide. Conway has it again. Looking to the point towards Clouston. He couldn't keep it in. Freeborn on him. Vaughn Clouston deflected in by Koash, but from his own side of center. So with 13:10 to go in the second period, it is an offensive zone faceoff coming for the Prowlers in a 2-1 game. Shots on goal right now, 18 for the Prowlers, 17 for the Motor City Rockers. Rockers up on shots in this period, 9-7. Merritt wins the draw back cleanly to Johnson. He put it right on. And Scott able to gobble it up and hang on. So we'll do it again. Alex Johnson just waiting a second there on that shot until the traffic could get in front of the net. But Blake Scott still able to track that puck. Looks like the Rockers changing up the line here, which they can do now. As Ryder's in there against Merritt. Face-off tied up. Federley gives it over to Henning. Wrists it on, blocked in front. Chartrand the rebound, and Scott slides over to stone him on the doorstep. Everett Thompson lifts it only as far as Johnson. Off the boards, Merritt. Comes right back to Sam Merritt. Now Chartrand looking for Federley. Puck was rolling and hopping, so he couldn't get all of that pass. White just sends it all the way down. Might have gotten his signals crossed with Elias Thompson, who was up near the Prowlers' blue line looking for that pass, but either way, it's another icing against Motor City. So it's the Prowlers' turn to get some pressure. As the Foley line is out there now for Port Huron. Vartiainen to the point heading. Wristed on, deflected, and save made by Scott. Like Foley got his stick on that as he was coming through in front of the net. D to Johnson. Wristed on, save the rebound, Vartiainen. Oh, that one wouldn't go. I think Scott may have gotten a stick on that as he was diving back. Paulin covers up, but that was some save by Blake Scott if he did end up getting a stick on that one.
Yeah, I think he did end up getting the paddle of his stick across for that. At that point as a goalie, you're just scrambling, trying to cover down low on the ice and build up from there.
Blake Scott's been fantastic so far in this game, stopping 21 of 22 Prowlers shots. He's a big reason why his team currently has the lead. Here's Vartiainen. Dumping it back towards Scott's direction. Ringed around, Minnie steps in to poke it. McGill Diaz off the boards. Giuliano helps it into the Prowlers zone. Paulin this way towards Jay. Foley able to tip it past McGill Diaz. Here's Evan Foley dropping it to Vartiainen, winds and fires a wrist shot. That one goes in. Foley at the side of the net. The Rockers think that puck went out of play, but right now the Prowlers have tied it up at 2 with 11:23 to go in the second. Evan Foley was the only one who knew where that puck was. It's a 2-all game. And now it's a conversation between the referees and the Rockers. In the Rockers' blue line, they think that puck went out of play. To be honest, I think they might have a case here because I thought I saw that netting move.
I think they do. I don't know, based on how the shot was taken and where it hit the glass, how it stayed in bounds and popped out where it did. I heard it hit the glass and I was looking for it to rim around all the way out to the blue line. It's not where it ended up going.
It certainly did hit the glass. We did hear it hit the glass, but the question is, did it pop up and hit the netting and come back down after that? Or did it just come right back into the middle of the ice?
You know what, Will, looking at a replay, I think it may have hit a stanchion on the glass. We don't have seamless glass here, and sometimes the puck can pop out when it's riding around.
But either way, it's Evan Foley's second of the night. Here's Conway looking to give his team back the lead. Good save by Paulin. Here's Koash. Put it on, and Paulin has it in the glove, and he will hold on. Officially, it's Evan Foley from Larry Vartiainen. A tying goal here in the second period. And we had 2 goals last night for a couple of players, Austin Federley and Larry Vartiainen with a pair of goals. Neither could complete the first hat trick of the season for the Prowlers. Let's see if Evan Foley can be that guy here tonight. Still more than half the game remaining. Miguel Diaz wrists it on, deflected wide by Koash in the slot. Here's Koash again. Minnie took it from him. Jay trying to work it up the boards. Minnie in there to help out. He's able to get it out of the zone. Inger back in. Step by Matt Graham to keep that play from developing. Miguel Diaz up towards Koash, turns the corner. Into the zone, shot blocked by Minnie. Josh Colton at the point. His shot was blocked by Matt Graham. Minnie up towards Graham. Now Dalton Jay into the zone. He shoots, saved by Scott. The rebound comes to the near side boards where Alex Johnson kicks it deep. Rotundi all the way around towards Thompson. Took a hit from Jay. Puck comes to the point. Johnson shot deflects to the far side corner. Elias Thompson couldn't get past Alex Johnson. Henning kept it in at the near side. Prowlers keeping the pressure on. And now Clouston has iced the puck. No, icing actually was waved off here. So Motor City is able to get some fresh bodies on the ice. There's Merritt back into the zone, takes the shot off of Rotundi, stick and wide. Chip back to center. Giuliano chasing after it. Pauling comes all the way out to play it. And now whistles blow, I believe, offsides as the Rockers weren't all the way touched up before they got that puck. But with 9:18 to go in the second period, the Prowlers have knotted things up on 2 goals from Evan Foley. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Will Wiggleman, Joe Noonan back here at McMorran Place. The Prowlers have tied things up, finally able to beat Blake Scott a couple of times, although the second one still a bit controversial. However, it did stand, and 2 goals from Evan Foley have us knotted up at 2 in period 2. Here's number 22, Dante Suffredini for the Motor City Rockers behind the net. Comes up to Sam Williams at center. Suffredini gave it away. Gagnon in front, saved by Scott as Sam Gagnon made a move to the crease. Scott stayed right with him. That was a prime scoring chance for the Prowlers. Icing waved off as Williams keeps it away from an oncoming Cardinal. Minnie couldn't flip it out. Perks sends it over to the far corner. Foley backhands it back to center. Here's Conway dropping it off to Suffredini. Under 8.5 to play in this second period. Declan Conway. A bit of a let's go Prowlers chant being started here at McMorran Place. Dalton J poked off his stick. Puts it right back in. Suffredini out of the reach of Inger. And this time icing called against the Motor City Rockers with 8:04 to go in the second period. A 2-all game, but a good save there from Blake Scott on Sam Gagnon.
It was a good save. He made a nice move physically, but I think he read the play even better. You've got Gags coming across the crease. He's a lefty going to his forehand with speed. For him to cut back and get back to his backhand, that's pretty difficult. It's also difficult in tight on the forehand to lift the puck, so Scotty did a good job there sealing the low part of the ice.
Looks like the Rockers have iced the puck again as Dustin Henning gets back to touch up. 7:55 to go in this second period. Prowlers with new life, leading in shots right now, 25-19. They're also up in the period in shots on goal, 14-11. Dalton J was there to take the draw for the Prowlers. He lost it to Koash. Here is Scott Koash. Up to Conway. Back to Koash, his one-time blast. Got the stick of a back-checking Dustin Henning. That puck just flew out of play. No doubt that one cleared the glass. I think it even cleared the netting because I didn't see it come back onto the ice.
Real good back check there by Henning, and a good communication with Dalton J, who was covering for him after he pinched. Henning decided to take the high guy, as that's the guy he was closest to, and it pays off.
Colton, D to McGill Diaz, wrists it on. Henning got a piece of that one on the way through. Paulin seals off that post. Graham taken down behind the net, and Everett Thompson is getting a penalty 200 feet from his own net, or maybe 185 feet. I think that's how long the rink is here at McMorran Place. Either way, though, an offensive zone penalty for Everett Thompson. Not something you'll want to see if you're head coach Gordy Brown of the Motor City Rockers. But for the Prowlers, they get their third chance on the power play. They're 0 for 2 so far tonight.
I didn't know the rink was a bit shorter than most. I guess that's why our conditioning skates don't seem as bad as other places I've played, huh, Will?
Yeah, I mean, it's not good, you know, to get those kinds of penalties because you're really not preventing a goal when you're.
No, you never want to take a stick penalty in your offensive zone for sure.
No. So Alex Johnson has to collect down deep in his own end. Here's Freeborn. Crosses the blue line. Freeborn around the net. Liam Freeborn circling the zone. Drops it off to Jay. So right back towards Freeborn. Bounced off of him right to Brad Ryder. And puck comes all the way back down. 125, to go on the Prowlers power play. Here's Freeborn. Into the zone. Finds his way through. Got spun around. Alex Johnson takes the puck. Gets it deep. But it's chopped past Jay. And all the way back down again. Paulin keeps it away from Giuliano. Johnson with a move around Roman Gaudet, who we haven't seen too much of tonight so far. Foley drops it off. Merritt walks in. He scores! Second straight game with a power play goal for Sam Merritt. And the Prowlers have their first lead of the night. And a little bit of extracurriculars in front of the net as Alex Johnson was knocked down by Von Clausen. He's slow to get up. And now it's Merritt with plenty of words for Von Clausen. Referee's just keeping everyone apart, but a well-worked rush there by the Prowlers leading to that goal from Sam Merritt.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of coming through the zone with speed. Back the D off, get a nice drop pass there from Foley to Merritt. And Johnny obviously paid the price going hard to the net to get some traffic in on Blake Scott.
Well, Johnson heading back to his bench. I think Austin Federley is over there looking for a penalty, discussing with the referee in front of the scorer's table. Doesn't look like they'll get one, but it is a Prowlers lead. Now Evan Foley with 2 goals and an assist tonight. I mean, how big is it to have a guy like Evan Foley back in the lineup? He's been back since the 2 games in Binghamton.
It's huge. Foley's a solid defensive player. He's very responsible in his own end. He's great on the back check. He's a good forechecker. And we saw all that last year from him, and this year offensively he's getting more of an opportunity to score, and he's done that. Obviously he's had some good line mates with him in Larry Vartiainen and Joe Devaney, and that's been beneficial to him. But personally, I'm really happy for him that he's getting some more recognition on the score sheet.
Well, the Prowlers are going right back to the power play as Von Clouston has been sent to the penalty box. 2 minutes for high sticking, but the goal is officially Sam Merritt from Evan Foley and Alex Johnson, and the power play with another chance to strike. It was a bit of a mixed unit out there as the Prowlers were in the midst of a change. Foley and Merritt are typically not on the same power play unit. Foley was the first one out on the change, and now his unit is out there to start this man advantage as Schumacher couldn't get past White. And it's cleared only as far as Austin Federley. Some good hand-eye coordination from Federley to knock it down. Here's Vartiainen. Lost the handle, able to regain control. Now he goes all the way over towards Minnie. Taken away and dumped all the way down by Ryder. So the Prowlers will have to reset just over 30 seconds into this power play. Schumacher chips it around White. Suffredini there. We got it as far as Federley at the line. Prowlers set up. Foley was looking for Vartiainen, seeking down the right wing side, but Scott got the paddle down to block that shot, to block that opportunity. Schumacher fanned on the pass. Here's Merritt streaking in. Merritt out high. Johnson wrists it on and it's blocked. Alex Johnson around behind the net. Graham tried to force it in front. Scott had the paddle down for that. Jay winds, fires. That one deflects over up high. Merritt couldn't put it back on from a sharp angle. Hit the side of the net. And Kowash smacks it all the way down. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Pauling keeps things moving quickly. Graham lost the handle. Here's Merritt feeding it over to the far side to Freeborn. Liam Freeborn waiting up top to Sam Williams. Now Jay wrists it on. That one rose high, caught the glass. Freeborn again to Merritt in the slot, shoots and a save by Scott, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 1 second to go on the penalty to Von Clouston, and 4:21 left in this second period. A good one for the Prowlers as they now have a 3-2 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Back here at McMorran Place, 4:21 to go in the second period. Prowlers about to be now 1 for 4 on the man advantage as Clouston is set to step out in 1 second. But it's been a good period for Port Huron. Really, after giving up that goal that made it 2-0 early in the frame, aside from what I can think of just one shift, it's been mostly Prowlers and mostly spent in Blake Scott's end.
It's true. Motor City's got a few more shots this period than they did last, as do the Prowlers, but I think for the most part they've been easy to handle in the defensive zone.
Well, back to 5-on-5. as Vartiainen couldn't keep it in. Henning back up to Foley. Here's Gagnon. Rims it around. Larry Vartiainen first on it. Vartiainen again on the half wall. Down to Foley. Trying to feed it out to Vartiainen. He has it. Foley between his own legs looking for Gagnon, just a step out of his reach. Now Foley to Vartiainen. Good cycling from this line. The one-timer by Mini. Save, rebound. Foley was jamming away at it. 2 in the game already for Evan Foley, looking for the hat trick. Vartiainen, the one-timer, he scores! Looked like he didn't get all of that shot, but still he picked the corner, and the Prowlers have scored 4 straight goals.
He got just enough of it.
And may have fooled Blake Scott as well just a bit. The fact that he didn't get all of that, because he slid all the way across and it ended up picking that far side corner back against the grain. But I mean, that all comes off of some great work in the zone by that line, couple of good chances, and just good puck retrieval by that line to continue the pressure, and Vartiainen is rewarded. Four straight goals for the Prowlers in this second period. They're now up by 2. Shorttrand trying to backhand it out. He does. Now he chases after it. Suffredini's going to beat him there, however. And now Williams. Around towards Chartrand. Suffredini played it out of his zone. Suffredini again. So Evan Foley is now factored in on all 4 of these goals. He has 2 goals and 2 assists tonight as the Rockers have iced the puck. Gino Mini picks up the other assist, but how about this night for Evan Foley? He has been all over the ice, and his line has been potent tonight.
The goal that was just scored was a result directly of Foley and Gags on the forecheck. Very hard, because even though they had a few good chances on that shift, they did lose the puck behind the net and they had to go back and get it. And then comes out to Dustin. Henning has very good vision up there on the blue line, goes across the center of the ice twice, back to Larry, who buried it.
A little bit of shenanigans going on as Everett Thompson tried to get himself kicked out of the faceoff so that Tim Perks could come take it. The referee was having none of that and made Thompson stay in there. Here's Suffredini in the corner. Thompson backhands it out. White gets it deep. Alex Johnson had his pocket picked by Perks and then got his stick in Perks' feet. So Alex Johnson is going to head to the penalty box, and the Rockers power play, which is 1 for 1 tonight, will get its second opportunity with 2:17 to go in the second period. So unfortunate play there for Alex Johnson. The Prowlers has got his stick lifted, and then immediately as he put it back down, Perks was skating through. He got his stick in the feet, so 2 minutes for tripping to Johnson, and an opportunity for the Rockers to get themselves back in this game. A Rockers team that's been reeling in this period. The Prowlers having scored the last 4 and also reeling in their last few games. They've lost 4 straight and haven't won yet in 2023. White, D to Suffredini. Back to White, winds and fires. Jay got a stick on it. Henning goes up the boards and out to center. Koash picks up speed through the neutral zone. Over to White, feeds it down low, comes right back to him. Over to Koash, and he scores. A one-timer from Scott Koash, his second of the night. And the Rockers are within 1 with 1:47 to go in the second.
That's a nice play there by Ian White. Obviously a veteran player, not in this league only, but having spent significant time in the NHL. He's not much of a shooter, really, but he's got good vision and he can hit the guy on the tape with a good flat pass. He set up Koash there for a nice one-timer.
Really no chance there for Chris Paulin as Thompson comes back in. Minnie trying to get it out, chopped away from him. Minnie gloves it down, comes out to center. Everett Thompson put it back in. Now Minnie again into the zone. Here's Gino Minnie muscling off McGill Diaz. Gagnon came out in there. Now Elias Thompson stepping past Foley. Elias Thompson in front. Puck sat there for a moment. Ryder was streaking in. Puck settles down for Sam Williams. He just gets it out. Minute 10 to go in this second period. As Ryder curls back. Gives it over to McGill Diaz.
See, Motor City's got a little bit more energy here to finish out the period after that goal. Really got to lock it down if you're the Prowlers.
Colton working up to McGill Diaz. Takes a hit from Chartrand. Schumacher up to Chartrand, who deflects it in. 41 seconds left in the period. Comes around towards Merritt. Got past him. Connor Inger up ice. Schumacher up the board. Chartrand helps it to center. Koash takes a look at the clock as he recovers in his own end. Knocked down by Federley. Up to Chartrand. All the way over to the near side, Merritt. Sam Merritt tried to get around Rotundi. But Rotundi able to take the puck away. Koash up to Conway. Final 5 seconds ticking off the clock. Conway with a shot. Good save by Paulin on the slot shot. And that's going to do it for the second period here at McMorran Place. Well, the Prowlers score 4 straight. There's a little bit of extracurriculars in front of the Rockers bench involving Dan Chartrand. Everyone will be separated as they head to their respective locker rooms, but 4 straight goals for the Prowlers after falling behind 2-0 early in that period. How do you rate the performance?
I rate it well. Once you get the momentum going, if you can keep it rolling a little bit, sometimes the goals just start coming, and that's what happened in the second period there. Motor City clearly struggled to regain control of the play, and Prowlers made the most of it.
Evan Foley got 2, and Sam Merritt and Larry Vartiainen 1 apiece. That gave the Prowlers a 4-2 lead at that point, but Scott Koash's late power play goal makes it a 1-goal game as we get set to head into the third period of play. Well, these two teams are going to be seeing a lot of each other, and that includes the Prowlers' next home game. You can secure your seats for that now as they take on Rockers on Saturday, January 21st with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 8:05 p.m. It's also Mitz's birthday, so come out and celebrate with your favorite mascot. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by calling the box office at 810-985-6166. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by phone at 810-985-6166. And once again, that is an 8 p.m. Eastern Time start, not the usual 7:05 that we have usually here at McMorran Place. It is an 8:05 start between the Prowlers and the Rockers a week from tonight. Second intermission underway here at McMorran Place, and the Prowlers with a 4-3 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel. back here at McMorran Place. Third period action set to get underway in just a couple of minutes, and the Port Huron Prowlers have a 4-3 lead over the Motor City Rockers. Before we get into that second period, let's take a look back. Let's take a look around the FPHL so far. We're at about the same point in Carolina. The Thunderbirds with a 4-1 lead on the Columbus River Dragons, looking to sweep the Dragons at home. 20 minutes left to play in Winston-Salem. They're through 20 minutes at the Delaware Fairgrounds Center Ice Arena, and the Elmira Mammoth have a 1-0 lead on the Thunder. Binghamton Black Bears have a 1-0 lead early in the second period on the Watertown Wolves. That one at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena. And down in Biloxi, they're just about to get started. Blake Wyrick and Frankie McClendon, the goaltenders for their respective teams, as the Mississippi Seawolves look to upset the Danbury Hat Tricks for the second night in a row. That one dropping the puck in just about 5 minutes. But of course, the best game of the night is going on here at McMorran Place, and it's right here in the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel, with the Prowlers holding a 4-3 lead after an entertaining second period that saw the Prowlers score 4 straight goals.
That's true, and the 4 goals is great, but my favorite thing about it is that they were all different types of goals. Shows that we're rounding out our game in the offensive zone the longer this game goes. Saw a good play off the rush, fully to Merritt with a good net drive by Johnson. A good one-timer by Larry, even though he didn't get the whole puck on the whole blade of the stick, but he got it on net, found a way to get it across the line, and a couple garbage plays in front of the net too.
Well, a bit of a weakness for the Prowlers so far in this game has been the penalty kill. Motor City has scored 2 of its 3 goals on the power play and is 2 for 2 on the man advantage so far tonight. So you got to think staying out of the box is one of the keys for this third period.
Absolutely, and you never want to say that referees let the game dictate the way they call penalties, but in hockey everybody kind of understands that the team that's down going into the third or later in the game will usually get more opportunities on the power play to get them back in the game. So Prowlers will have to play some more disciplined hockey as we get deeper into the third here.
And on that note, you also see the term makeup call thrown around a lot when a team has had to kill a lot more penalties than they've had power plays. Then you see the referees try and give them another power play. Right now the Rockers have killed 4 penalties, and the Prowlers have only been shorthanded twice so far tonight. So Port Huron does have to be careful in this third period to try and stay out of the box. Right now they flip it in, but just off target. So it's an early icing against the Prowlers. 19:24 to go in this third period. Shots on goal from that second period, 19 for the Prowlers and 12 for the Motor City Rockers. Totals right now 30-20 in favor of the home team. Koash with a sharp angle try that Paulin able to stop. Scott Koash has 2 goals tonight. Minnie loves it down. Martianen able to get it out to center. Here's Colton. All the way up. Inger tried to slide it across to Conway. Good sliding block from Gino Minnie. Inger has it again. McGill Diaz with a rising shot off of the Paulin's mask. Chartrand able to get it off the glass and out. Colton quickly up to Inger. Took a hit as he entered the zone, but the whistles blow as the net is off its moorings once again. That seems to be happening a lot this season around the league, but we've seen it a number of times in this building in a few different games.
Well, here at McMorran, we don't have the drill-in pegs to use that the NHL guys and some of the other teams in the league do have. Elmira has it. I believe Columbus has it as well. I know Binghamton does, especially since that was an AHL arena for several years, but we still use the regular spikes here, and the blue ones seem to work a little bit better, but still nothing will beat the drill-in pegs. So every once in a while the net might come off a little bit more often. I can tell you from a goalie perspective, you pretty much never do it on purpose. A lot of people think that it's a delay of game penalty, but
Barrett, ooh, almost got that one. And I know you never do it on purpose, right, Nunes?
of course not.
Never
but
once.
I'd much rather move the way I want to when I push off the post rather than have the net move away from me.
Here's Ryder back into the zone. Williams gives it to Merritt, starting the breakout. Federley. Red line and deep. Prowlers get 4 off for the change. Dan Chartrand, the lone man, staying on. He's in on the forecheck, and now they'll go to complete the 5-man change. Cardinal deflected it right off of Johnson. Here's Henning turning the corner. Dustin Henning chugging up ice. Gets past Clouston. Henning looking towards the slot. It's cut off. Ryder. Hassled by Freeborn. Here's Brad Ryder again. Rink wide pass to Cardinal. 1-on-2. Poked off his stick by Johnson. Graham played it right off of Clouston, but Henning's able to work it up to Jay. Jay into the zone. Feeds it over towards Freeborn. Puck was in his skates. Now bouncing around down there. Clouston able to recover. Freeborn kept it in just momentarily. Conway into the Prowlers zone. Lost the handle. Perks couldn't get it on net. Graham just gets it back towards Rockers territory. 3 minutes into period 3. Prowlers still with that 1-goal lead as Freeborn gives it up to Jay. Clouston now. Up towards Prowler's zone, is cut off by Vartiainen. There's Larry. Couldn't dance past Inger. Foley tried to backhand it in. Here's Koash trying to step out with it. Knocked off his stick by Gagnon. Plenty of backup though for Scott Koash as Clouston lifts it to center. Everett Thompson back into the zone. Takes the shot. Saved by Paulie. Didn't know where the rebound was. It was sitting right next to him. Schumacher saved it. And a sliding block from Evan Foley prevented a centering pass. White goes D-to-D to Sufferdini. Funny hop off the Zamboni door. Prowlers seem to be pretty ready for it as they are used to that bounce. They've actually taken advantage of it once or twice in this building to get a good offensive opportunity. But it is on their defensive side for 2 out of the 3 periods in games here at McMorran Place as Everett Thompson, Dustin Henning went down together. Thompson limping back towards the Motor City bench as Williams steps into the zone. His shot stopped by Scott, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 15:26 to go in the 3rd period, but Thompson in some pain as he's back on the bench after he and Dustin Henning got tangled up over on the far boards. So Perks and Merritt will slide into Scott's right. Work back to the point. Williams winds and fires. Blocked by Cardinal. Comes right back to Williams. Looking for Merritt's stick at the side of the net. Couldn't find it. Henning keeps it in. Now Federley. Austin Federley around. Was looking towards the point. Williams was changing. He's able to get it to Merritt. All the way over to Alex Johnson, fresh off the bench. Down low to Chartrand. Put it out towards the slot. Nobody home for the Prowlers. As Johnson recovers. And Chartrand deflects it in. Prowlers continuing to change on the move. Conway out with speed. Was turned over at center. Colton able to take it back. Josh Colton backhands it up high towards Conway. Couldn't handle it cleanly and then took a spill in the Prowlers' end. Koash, though, has the puck back for Motor City. Schumacher chops it away from Colton. Here's Josh Colton battling with Graham. Schumacher trying to work it out. Koash couldn't get it all the way to the net. Now Johnson. going to backhand it high and out. Rotundi had a little bit of trouble with it, had Freeborn bearing down on him. Luckily for the Rockers, able to get it back up the other way. Here's Rotundi with a one-time shot, missed it wide. Now Schumacher flips it towards Freeborn, got past him. Inger back in. Sharp angle try, Paulin slid across, and that net's way off. And they'll blow the whistle with 13:40 to go in the period. They're going to keep the Prowlers from changing. But we do have a TV timeout before we return. You are watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated,
enterprising,
the most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Will Wiggleman and Joe Noonan back with you at McMorran Place. 13:40 to go. Third period. Prowlers still with a 4-3 lead. After the net got knocked off once again in this third period behind Chris Paulin. Well, they have it all set. Prowlers were not allowed to change after that, because they say it was just a little bit intentional. So with 13:40 to go, defensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers. Evan Foley is out there to take the draw, but with Matt Graham's wingers, Liam Freeborn and Dalton Jay. Freeborn out towards Jay. Klauston able to put it right back in. Thompson on the near half wall. It's deflected on its way through. Drops towards Jay. Freeborn couldn't dangle his way in. Ryder gives the outlet feed to Elias Thompson. Stepped up on by Sam Williams. Here's Freeborn. At the end of a long shift, he'll feed Foley and head off the ice. Gagnon back to Foley. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Good pressure from Klauston. Now Vaughn Klauston into the zone. Takes the shot, saved by Paul, and the rebound cleared away by the Prowlers. Rockers looking to come right back in. Instead, it's Henning in his own end. Perks steps in. Tim Perks out high to White, wrists it on, saved by Paulin, and it sticks to him for a whistle. 12:32 to go, third period. Prowlers still holding on to that one-goal lead, but Motor City's really turning up the heat here in the third period. So Merritt and Perks get sit to take the draw. Schumacher swoops in to take it. Sidesteps a hit neatly from Cardinal. Here's Frank Schumacher into the zone. Looking to go towards the slot, couldn't find a friendly stick. Now Giuliano winds and fires from the outside, and Paulin has that one, and he'll hold on for a whistle. Early shots in this third period, 6-1 in favor of the Motor City Rockers. Chris Paulin putting in some work in this third period, at least early on.
Yep, it's been a bit of a neutral zone period so far, but the Rockers have gotten a few shots through on him.
Merritt and Kowash take the draw. Williams pokes it further past Kowash. Federley goes off the boards and out. Chartrand chasing it down with White. Now Federley kept it deep. Here's Ian White behind his own cage. White steps out, looking for options. Gives it over to Dante Suffredini, his defense partner. Suffredini into the zone. Power move to the backhand, saved by Paulin. He'll cover up the rebound with Inger bearing down. Got a whack, and the Prowlers have a word for him after that. 11:44 now to go in this third period. Linesman just looking to keep the peace. Inger will head over to his bench. So Everett Thompson and Matt Graham in for the face-off. Ryder wrists it on, flips high over top of the cage. Graham sends it out to center. Elias Thompson rims it deep. Williams plays it down low to Johnson. Alex Johnson backhands it high and out. White plays it back towards Suffredini. Everett Thompson. Second chance gets it to White. Here's Ryder. Freeborn recollects it his own end. 11 minutes to go in this third period. Here's Brad Ryder into the zone. Puck popped up on him, gets it to Colton. Only found Freeborn in the slot, however. He's able to get it back out to center. Prowlers playing a bit of a defensive game here, just continuing to get pucks out. They're not getting all that much pressure on Blake Scott. It is only a one-goal game, as here's Cardinal. Had the puck knocked off his stick. Miguel Diaz at the point. Giuliano all the way across. Colton couldn't handle the hot feed. Giuliano on the far side.
It's a dangerous way to finish out a game that you're only up by one.
Here's Miguel Diaz. Giuliano deflects it in. So we hit the halfway point to go in this third period. Perks gave it away to Vartiainen. This line looking to get some offense going, but it's turned back by Miguel Diaz. Nick Miguel Diaz goes D to Colton and gets it back. Knocked down by Henning in front of his own blue line. Puts it back to Motor City Ice, but the Rockers have it again. Long lead pass to Conway. Just floated a bit too high over his stick, or he would have had a good rush into the zone. But Pauling covers up with 9:34 to go in this third period, with the Prowlers still hanging on to that one-goal lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here in Port Huron, 4-3 our score, 9:34 to go in the third period. Will Wiggleman and Joe Noonan with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The Prowlers might need to start getting some more pressure on in this third period. It's been all Rockers in this final frame as they search for the tying goal. Connor Inger gets set for the face-off with Evan Foley. Puck sits there, and it comes to Schumacher. Looks like he's iced the puck. But we just talked about it, how the Prowlers just kind of going into that shell, and it's going to be that's a tough way to play with still plenty of time to go in this third period.
That's right. There's 9.5 minutes left. You can't ice the puck, chip it out, and regroup just playing for another line change for the rest of the game. There's going to be too many offensive opportunities to keep the score the way it is right now.
Inger with a turnaround shot. Missed it wide. Koash cycles it down low towards Conway. Taken in by Foley. Schumacher comes in to get the loose puck. Vartiainen with plenty of time thanks to an aggressive Rockers forecheck down low. And Henning just wrists it on Blake Scott, just the second shot for the Prowlers in this period, but they do get an offensive zone faceoff out of it, although you did see a glimpse of that aggressive forecheck the Rockers are running down one here in the third period. They did have 3 players down below the face-off dots, and that gave Larry Vartiainen plenty of time to work that breakout as Reiter's able to kick it back to the corner. White trying to force it up the boards. Now he goes over to Suffredini. Looking towards the near side, who's blocked by Chartrand. He gets it down. White has Chartrand on him. Good play by Dan Chartrand. Prowlers looking to take the puck back, but Reiter scoops it up. He was taken down. Arms stay down from the referees. Although one did go up from Dante Suffredini, who was following the play. Meanwhile, Johnson. Merritt just pokes it back to center. And now it goes all the way in. They say Elias Thompson did get a touch on it, so icing waved off. Prowlers beginning a change with 8:10 to go in this third period. Freeborn flying in to seal that puck. Drops it off to Jay. Wrists it on. Just missed it to the short side. Rockers kicking it back out to center. Henning keeps it away from Cardinal. Prowlers the other way. Graham into the zone. Backhand in front. The puck's there. Where is it? It's behind the net. Everyone thought that puck was in the blue paint or in Scott's equipment, but it was behind the cage. Paulin kept it away from an oncoming Tommy Cardinal. Giuliano gets it deep towards Perks. Now Jonathan Giuliano again. Turned it over to Graham. Giuliano turned it on net. Good save from Paulin. Gino Mini lofts it out to center. Here's Conway. 7:10 to go, third period. Graham chops it around. That one goes out of play. And they're going to say it was deflected. The Rockers disagree, but the Prowlers do catch a break there as Matt Graham chopped that puck right out of play.
Yeah, I think the Prowlers may have gotten away with one there. Looked to me like he took a golf club wedge shot at it and sent it right into the twine. I think the ref said it hit the top of the glass.
Well, it's a game of inches. As we saw earlier in this game, back in the second period, Evan Foley scored on a play that the Rockers thought the puck went over the glass and into that netting. Here is Foley with 2 in the game. Tried to put it on net. Gagnon with a backhander save, rebound. That one wouldn't go. Vartiainen with a shot, deflected, save, rebound, Foley. Couldn't put it out in front. Inger chasing it down with Schumacher. Good chances for the Prowlers. It's this Foley line again creating opportunities. Blake Scott sharp on those shots as Gagnon lifts it back to center. All the way around it comes. Gagnon slows things down. And Vartiainen able to deflect it in. 6:15 to go, third period. It's skied into the near side corner. Gino Mini first on it. Chartrand pokes it back out. Pass missed Everett Thompson, and Williams just beats Elias Thompson by a step to get the icing call with under 6 to play in this third period. Some good offensive opportunities there created again by that Foley line. And that's the kind of pressure the Prowlers need to take some off of their goaltender. Down at the other end, the Prowlers do have the last 3 shots on goal.
I'd like to add one to the scoreboard here, get a little bit of a cushion going into the final 5.
Merritt and Ryder didn't want to play nice, so they'll both be ejected from the faceoff. Everett Thompson and Austin Federley will step in to take the draw. And Thompson able to win it back cleanly. Here's Rotundi, giving it up to Ryder. Thompson again. Thompson, nice move around Mitty, but a good play by Sam Williams to come over and negate a pass to the middle of the ice. The pass up to Federley was out of his reach, so icing is called, but Sam Williams may have saved a good chance right there.
Looked like he did. The puck popped up in an awkward way. Looked like Paulie was sliding out of the net a little bit. Heads up play by Willie.
All came off the nice move by Everett Thompson to step around Gino Mini. 5:38 to go, third period. As Giuliano and Merritt slide in for the faceoff. Chartrand gloves it down at center. He gets it in. Here's Suffredini. Getting it out. Prowlers stonewall their blue line. Chartrand almost took it away from Dante Suffredini. Would have had a good opportunity if he had. Perks kicks it deep. Goes after it himself. Tim Perks up high to White. Down low towards Perks. Back up top to White. His shot stopped by Paulin through traffic. Cardinal knocked down by Graham. Williams with a hit on Perks behind the net. Puck worked over to the far side boards. White kept it in. Williams with a good step around Giuliano. Comes out top to White. Now Henning up towards Graham. Matt Graham just pins it on the boards. Waits for some help to a side scrum in that corner. 4:34 and counting to go in this third period. Conway to the point to White. Puts it back down low. Here's Perks. Took a hit from Williams. And finally the Prowlers able to take the puck back and get it out to neutral ice. Freeborn steps around Suffredini. Here's Liam Freeborn to the slot. And he just pushed it wide. Scott may have gotten a piece of that one. Jay fires and Scott clutches it to his chest and hangs on for a whistle. 3:57 to go in the third period. We will take our final timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube channel.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
We invite you to tune in to our next broadcast on Thursday, January 19th, when the Prowlers visit these same Motor City Rockers. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 7:15. It's all right here on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Will Wiggleman, Joe Noonan with you on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us tonight as the Prowlers have picked up the pace just a little bit here in the last few minutes of this third period after spending most of the beginning in a bit of a defensive shell.
Yeah, I'd like to see the guys get a little bit lower in the D zone for the last 4 minutes here, not only to help out around the net, but just to get some more speed coming out of the zone so they're not playing in their own end the whole time.
Last chance there, good one for Liam Freeborn. Had points in 7 of his last 8 games coming into this one. Hit the empty net last night in Motor City. Colton Tried to feed it up towards Conway. That was poked away by Johnson and out of play. Face-off will go to center ice. As both referees looked like they were pointing at each other, but instead they were pointing at the face-off dot that was between them. That's the one at center. Gagnon knocked down. Foley takes the puck, gets it deep. 3:40 to go, third period. Kowash up towards Colton. Johnson once again chops it out of play. And we'll see where the face-off is. This time it's right over in front of the Prowlers zone. At least it looked like it was, and now they're pointing back at center ice again. And that's where it will be. Center ice face-off. It's one over to the far side. Gagnon backhands it in. Here's Foley, up to the point, Schumacher walks in, shoots, and a save by Scott. 3:18 to go in the third period. Prowlers getting a little bit of pressure now with Freeborn getting a good opportunity right before that TV timeout, and then that shot there from Frank Schumacher. Motor City still up on shots in this third period though, 8-6. Prowlers up 36-28 in the game. Johnson wrists it on, gloved and held by Blake Scott. And this is a good place for the Prowlers to continue to have this puck for at least most of the rest of this game, they hope.
That's true. You want to get a cycle going here, establish some offensive zone time, maybe even be able to get a line change without the puck getting out into the neutral zone and force the Rockers to play some defense for a while.
Everett Thompson able to backhand it out. It went off of Schumacher's glove and hopped over the glass. So we'll have another face-off at center ice, at a center ice face-off dot. And once again, all the referees have to convene to figure out where exactly this face-off will be, and it is just outside of the Rockers zone, because it did hit Frank Schumacher's glove. And he was outside the zone, I assume, when he did that. Here is Schumacher dumping it in, knocked down by Miguel Diaz. Lifts it back out. Schumacher just put it through the middle of the ice, all the way back to Miguel Diaz. He wrists it in on Paulin, who waffle boards it to the back glass. Comes all the way out in front. Puck still loose there in the crease. Prowlers poking away at it to get it out, and Federley able to launch it down ice. That one was close. Icing waved off as Everett Thompson almost found that puck, but it was bouncing around just in front of Paulin, and the Prowlers collapsed to make sure a good chance on net was prevented. 2:20 to go in the third period as Colton stops up in the far side corner. Giuliano in front. Paulin got a stick on that. Prowlers clear, and icing waved off again. Rotundi drops it off to Perks. 2 minutes to go, third period, as Colton gives it over. The rink-wide pass from Rotundi was cut off at center. Now Jay steals it from Perks. Dalton Jay couldn't maintain possession. We'll keep an eye on Blake Scott as Cardinal comes up the ice. Minute 40 to go in this third period. Tommy Carr with a nice move. Couldn't get the shot on net. Another good block shot from Dustin Henning. And then Cardinal's stick comes up on Henning. And it looks like a penalty is coming up against Tommy Cardinal. So for the second game in a row, Joe, this is the penalty for the Rockers, trailing by 1 with under 2 minutes to play.
It's obviously not ideal in any circumstance to take a penalty. Again, like we were talking about before, in your offensive zone, no less, a stick infraction. But now, down a goal, the Rockers are going to have to pull their goalie just to get back to even strength.
It looks like Motor City has called its timeout. You remember last night, it was Dante Suffredini who tripped up Liam Freeborn after Motor City had brought it within one. That was just seconds later. Sam Merritt made the Rockers pay. He made it a 2-goal game en route to the Prowlers win, and tonight it is a Tommy Cardinal high sticking call as he gets the stick up in the face of Dustin Henning, and that one, as you mentioned, an offensive zone penalty. And that's not the first offensive zone penalty the Rockers have taken tonight. Of course, Everett Thompson with one in the second period. So the Prowlers look to play this possession game, just try and waste as much clock as possible, and maybe they'll be able to find an opening like they did last night for Sam Merritt. So both teams getting back out to where the face-off is. It will be to Blake Scott's left, deep in Motor City territory. 4-3 Prowlers, 1:34 to go in the third period, but 2 minutes up on the penalty clock. It's a Prowlers power play. They're 1 for 5 tonight. Ryder lost the handle behind the net. White comes in to collect. Sends it out to center. Johnson just rims it right back in. Prowlers touch up and they go in for a soft forecheck. Ryder saucers it to Koash. Scott Koash into the zone, takes the shot off of Johnson's stick and caught the back glass. Blake Scott to the bench as the Rockers' net is empty. Johnson just backhands it out. Suffredini stopped it at center. It comes into the Rockers' zone. 2 Prowlers in there. Freeborn couldn't feed Merritt as plenty of white jerseys got back. Koash pulls it out. 43 seconds to go in the third period. Koash with a sharp angle shot. Saved by Paulin. The rebound right back to Chris Paulin. He'll cover up and get appreciation from the crowd here at McMorran Place for that one. Big time save from Chris Paulin to be able to gather in that rebound as the Rockers are trying to create some chaos in front. Matt Graham sends Evan Foley out there for the biggest face-off of the night. We'll see who he lines up against. Rockers trying to sneak 6 guys out there with the goalie pulled. Not going to fool the referees tonight. The Evan Foley and Everett Thompson. Thompson wins it back. Chartrand chops it out to center. Clock hasn't started moving yet. And now it gets going. Fans making sure to alert the goal judges there and everyone in the scorer's booth. Get that clock going. Federle listed only as far as White at the point. Giuliano put it on, save. The rebound, chop back on net. Foley stopped it. And then Paulin with a big save on Suffredini. The net came off behind Chris Paulin, and he still made a nice save on Dante Suffredini. Probably his best of the night.
I'd say so. He did a good job recovering there and getting back into the middle of the net. See how much time they take off the clock. 3 seconds.
So it comes down to 11 seconds to go in this third period. All 3 Prowlers centers are out there up front. Matt Graham, Sam Merritt, and Evan Foley. Alex Johnson and Frank Schumacher, the defense pair. As Ryder, Koash, and Conway are up front for Motor City. Ryder couldn't stick it out in front. Schumacher holds it up against the boards. The battle there, and the Prowlers survive this third period, and they sweep the Motor City Rockers. How about that for the Port Huron Prowlers? And Chris Paulin, in his return to Port Huron, picks up the victory, making 28 saves for the Port Huron Prowlers tonight. And once again, they sweep the Motor City Rockers for the first time this season. and they tie up the I-94 rivalry at 5 wins apiece. Just a big series for the Prowlers to sweep, and they keep pace with the Carolina Thunderbirds, who are just behind them, breathing down their neck, though.
Yeah, and next weekend will be another good test, another opportunity to take all 6 points from our closest rivals and our most frequent opponent. Like we were saying before the game started, this series can really make or break our spot in the standings headed into the playoffs.
Well, before we get too deep into the post-game show, we just want to remind you again to tune into our next broadcast on Thursday when the Prowlers and the Rockers do it again. That one will be at Big Boy Arena. Puck drop is set for 7:30. And now it's Chris Paulin as one of the stars of the game tonight. He's the second star. Evan Foley, the first star tonight for the Port Huron Prowlers. Well deserved. He played a fantastic game tonight. And Chris Paulin, again, solid in net, earns that second star honor. Well, this game was 2-0 Motor City early in the second period. One from Dante Suffredini in the first, one from Scott Koash early in the second. But then the Prowlers turned it on in that middle frame. 4 straight goals, 2 from Foley, 1 from Sam Merritt, and 1 from Larry Vartiainen. That just turned that game back in the home team's favor.
That's right. Those are the only goals they scored all night in the second period, so without that, not coming away with a win. That was huge.
Scott Koash got one late in that frame, and then this third period was a lot of tense moments for the Prowlers as they were able to hold off a Rockers attack that was very strong. Motor City ended up outshooting Port Huron 10-7 in that third period. Prowlers outshot the Rockers 37-31 for the game. And a crowd of 1,457 gets to witness the Prowlers sweeping the Motor City Rockers for the very first time this season. So for Joe Noonan, I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight on the Port Huron Prowlers YouTube channel. We hope to see you again on Thursday. But for now, have a great rest of your night, Prowlers fans.